Oh, why hello. Nice to see ya. Week 41 in Germany. CBYX, here we go. Let's see what we got going this week. Starting off last Friday, I did absolutely nothing. Just came home after work and pretty much just, chilled at home all night. Saturday morning, took a Mid-Fargelingen to Frankfurt. Mike asked if I wanted to come up for the weekend to do this museum night type of a deal. Didn't originally plan on really doing anything this week. I was going to stay in Saarbrücken, but Mike was so enthusiastic that I come because it was going to be really cool. More on that later. While I was waiting for my Mid-Fargelingen at Landwehrplatz, there were some workers setting up this stuff. I have no idea what it was, but there's this big Platz, and then in the middle there was a chair with a fire hose coming up from the butt of the chair where you sit, and it was just on. Then there was these large iron rusted staircase, and then a giant pile of what looked to be coal. Yeah. Took a Mid-Fargelingen up, went very well. The guy was really cool. Met Mike at the train station around noonish. We were then waiting on Claire's late ass to come and meet us all as well, and then we went to Oberrussel, which is a small little, cute little typical German town just outside of Frankfurt, where we're going to have some lunch and some beers. Started out outside on the nice little patio beer garden thing, having our beers. Got a little cold, started to rain, so we moved the party inside. After we were all finished, then we left. Continued to walk through the rain, got some ice cream, did some, just kind of walking around. Then we found a geocache in a telephone booth. So I can add one more. It's been a while since I've been geocaching, hasn't it, guys? Yeah. Well, this week I only found one, so it's going to kind of continue to stagnate. After beer, lunch, geocaching, ice cream, we then met at Stefan's house, where it was his birthday the following day, so all the Mainz crew, Frankfurt people, met up at his place, and we just kind of had some pizza and other snacky type, dessert type of things. We then pieced out, and we were going to go to this night of the museum thing down in Frankfurt. It's interesting getting back because there was construction on the railroad, and so the trains weren't going and coming as frequently as they were supposed to, and they're also off at different times and meeting the connections and stuff. It kind of took a while, so even though we left his place at 5, we didn't end up getting to where we were going until 7. Kind of reminds me of another public transportation system in Germany that I know of. Whoever could that be? So yeah, this whole night of museum thing is pretty cool because you just paid one entrance fee and then you got to visit 20 museums or something like that in the city. So the first museum we went to was actually a park. It was a botanical museum. So it was outside and inside with the greenhouses, and it was just a bunch of plants from all over the world. It's getting kind of dark at this point, so we can't really show you a lot of footage because it was just too dark to film. There was just a bunch of plants everywhere. We then went to a museum of natural history where there was a bunch of dinosaurs all over the place, which was pretty cool. After that, we went to a more fun of a museum where there was it was scientifical experiments type of a museum. So it was a museum with these exhibits with really simple physics concepts, and it kind of taught, everyone. I mean, I like to play with stuff too, about just properties of physics and motion and other stuff like that. And then we went into the old part of the city where we were going to look for this zombie museum. We weren't even really sure exactly what we were looking for. We just heard that there was zombies and a museum involved, so we wanted to check it out. It was in the old part of Frankfurt, and we went into it wasn't the Rathaus, but it was an old building that looked really cool. And then we went up in the inside, and there was this big hall with every single king of Frankfurt just lined the entire hall. Eventually did find the zombie museum. It was an art museum, and the people working there were kind of dressed like zombies, meaning they had blood face paint on, but then some are just normally dressed. Then there was the zombie bride and groom. That was kind of actually a pretty cool costume. But then all of the art exhibits were meat related, which was interesting. There was one exhibit was just a floor with a bunch of packets of sliced lunch meat just laying on the floor. It was pretty fucking retarded. There was other just meat related things of paintings of just I don't know, a cow and a picture of a steak. I don't know, it was really weird. Art, man, art. We then met up with Michael Haupt's host parents, and they drove us home, and then we went to bed after that, and that was Saturday. Sunday, woke at no particularly early time, as most people do on Sundays, or at least me. And Sunday was trip planning day, so Mike, Clara, and I are all going on a trip the last 2 weeks of this program, and we have everything planned out on paper, but we haven't, started making official reservations for stuff. So that's what we were doing on Saturday. So we got a bunch of, Airbnbs, hostels, and stuff figured out. I still got to rent a car. I know Mike, I said I was going to do that this week, and I still haven't. I'm going to. I promise I will. Not with Europcar, though. More on that later. Then I was trying to find a Mittag Gelegenheit home. Couldn't find one, so I just took the train. This week was a lazy week for me. Didn't really do anything at all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, kind of just pretty much just went to work, came home, did my thing. Yesterday, however, stopped off at Europcar because, if you guys remember, a couple weeks back, rented a car to drive to Passau for a job interview, and noticed that Europcar had charged my debit card a substantially large amount of money. Even though I didn't wreck the car, had it tanked up at the end, I didn't drive that many kilometers over what I was allotted, 160 to be exact. And at 20 cents a kilometer, it didn't come out to be as much as they charged me. So I go into Europcar on Wednesday to see, hey, what's going on with this here? So she explained to me that I reserved the car for 4 days, so I was charged for 4 days, but I returned the car after 2 days, 23 hours, and 34 minutes, so that only counts as 3 days worth of mileage. Even though I paid for 4, it only counts for 3 days worth of mileage. So everything over that 3 days worth of mileage, even though I still had the car for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was only allotted 900 kilometers instead of 1,200. Therefore, they charged me extra. I don't think so. So not only has Europcar charged me for 4 days, but only gave me 3 days worth of mileage, then they decided to overcharge me on both of those things. It's like, what? Went in on Wednesday. The lady who was less than helpful said, there's nothing that I can do. I can forward it on to somebody else that might know what to do, but I just can't do anything. Okay, you're not very helpful. But yes, please continue to forward it on to someone that could be helpful. Then came home, looked at the policy agreement that I signed, and it doesn't say anything in there that if you bring it back early, that they only charge you for less. There's nothing in there that says that, especially if you've already paid for it. I reserved this thing ahead of time, already paid for 4 days. Like, there's no reason that they should not hold up to that. So I went in there again today, explained again my situation. Same lady. There's nothing that I can do. I'm trying to do it with somebody else, but they're in another city. So I asked, okay, well, is your boss here? Her answer, no. Okay. Does he have a phone number in which he can be reached at? Nope. Why not? He doesn't have a phone number. Your boss doesn't have a phone number. It's 2014, and your boss doesn't have a phone number. Cell phone, landline, whatever. Doesn't matter. Your boss doesn't have a phone number? I don't freaking believe this. So this lady is trying to tell me that even though I paid for 4 days, I only get 3 days worth of mileage, and her boss, supervisor, isn't contactable? Guess who's not renting with Europcar anymore? Haha, this guy! And I would also advise you guys not to rent with Europcar. As you guys might have remembered, there's been a couple of times I've rented a car from them, and pretty much every single time they've not delivered on what they've advertised, including their prices and the type of vehicles that they offer. You know how to take the reservation. You just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. So I've then, been on the phone with my credit card companies trying to get these charges removed because they're unauthorized. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing the last 2 days after work. It's been really, really fun, especially in different languages. Having to have an argument in a different language is the first time that this has really happened. So, yeah, it's quite fun. Tomorrow, Donna and Myra come. That's right, good old mama is coming to visit. So we're going to hang out tomorrow. And then Saturday, and then on Sunday, going up to Berlin. Yeah! It's end of the year seminar, which is actually kind of bittersweet because I love Berlin and cannot wait to go to Berlin. However, it means it's quite end of this year, which I'm not quite happy about. But I'm still excited to go to Berlin. Freaking love it. I've been asking around for ideas of stuff from people and going up, on Sunday. And I'm staying until next Sunday, so it's going to be a full week in Berlin. Paid paid. Doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. So, hope everyone's doing well at home. Mom, I know you're probably not going to see this before your flight, but in case you do, I hope you guys have a great flight, and we will see you guys next week. Peace. Anybody can just take them.
Like this.